Hello and welcome to another episode of the Full Force Weekly, brought to you by General Joe's Reborn.com, with me as your host, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. For today's episode, I'm all on my own. In this regular video series, I round up all the week's news in the world of G.I. Joe. What is it, me? It's the Full Force Weekly. What up, yo? It is me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. Said it all at the beginning. You don't need to hear it again. How's everyone doing this fine evening? It has been a day. Let me tell you right now, even if I'd have said, hey guys, let's kick this off at 7 tonight, I still probably would have been like, just life, right? It's just nuts. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. Lots to get through today. It is a huge weekly. I'm on my own for this one. As I said, I've had to do these like kind of like Friday night because we're traveling tomorrow and we will be it's one of those long uns. So so yeah, because of that, I'm going tonight. Why can't I work out what side my hood? There we go. I was trying to work out what side my hood was. It's weird. Anyway, Pat won't be joining tonight. Obviously, he'll hopefully be back soon. Next week, we're going to be the same problem because we're traveling again. So it's going to be on a Friday evening. My apologies. I know people enjoy the Saturday mornings. I enjoy the Saturday mornings with you guys, but we've just had to switch it for the next couple of weeks while we're traveling, basically. So anywho, I hope everyone's doing well. We've got lots to get into, like so much stuff to do. It's not even funny. I've probably got other stuff to talk about and I'll go on tangents constantly, but let's do it. We're starting off with Chris's Comic Corner. And what a corner it is today. Lots to get through. Obviously, the week it's been 1 week since we last did this, more or less, and we have got so much comics related goodness. It's unreal, isn't it? Absolutely unreal. Now, of course, we kind of have to start with the Kickstarter project. Now, I have probably run out of superlatives for this particular situation. Now, I went into lots of detail. I've gone into lots of detail multiple times this week regarding this particular Kickstarter. But this has been one of those things, like one of those moments, one of those historical G.I. Joe sort of moments that have just taken the fandom by storm, and Shadow. And it's just quite remarkable how engaged everyone was with this. Like the entire fandom seemed to be like full force towards this. I mean, so much so that it became the most funded comics project on Kickstarter at 3.7 and change. 3.7 mil and change. Unbelievable stuff. Now, a lot of people have kind of questioned my response of it being shock, and I really don't know where people think or people thought that this was going to be the most successful comic-based Kickstarter ever. I thought it was going to, I mean, when it funded in 6 minutes and it did like had a great start, it felt like, oh yeah, this has got some legs. But it wasn't until like halfway through, where usually you get a big dip, you get like a real fall off, and there probably is a slight dip, but it was barely negligible, and I felt like it was a consistent daily movement on this number. Like it just kept moving and moving and moving, and that was what surprised me more than anything. It was that consistency, because campaigns don't do that. Campaigns go like hell for leather in the first like 3 or 4 days, then they literally do nothing for the entire time until the end, where it does another spike. So yeah, just unbelievable, crazy stuff in my opinion anyway. And really happy because again, it's G.I. Joe and we want these things to be successful. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Hope everyone's doing well in the chat, by the way. I haven't spoken to anyone. Sorry, there's a lot of you in there. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'll get to you as and when I see things that pop up. Yeah. Torch, Jinx, and Night Creeper. Yeah, Torch from Hasbro, Jinx and Night Creeper from BBTS, says Derek. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of those figures have started showing up for people. either in kind of shipping or on their way or in hand. So very excited to see those start to hit like GameStops and stuff like that, which is where I will try my hand. Got to save data. Just stopped in telling everyone here to have a nice weekend. You too, Pass. You too. Thanks for even sacrificing that little bit of data to say hello. Derek says, I still have Doc through BBTS and a Night Creeper and Norga Hide through Hasbro yet. Yeah, and I think a few of those are coming through as well for people. And Retro's coming through as well. Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, this always happens and everyone freaks out and it goes nuts and everyone's talking about it, excited to get figures in hand. They'll come, guys. Have no fear. They'll be on their way in at different points, wherever you ordered, the 3 different places you ordered them from, just to make sure. Anyway, Kickstarter, phenomenal stuff. I think that's enough said now, but massive congratulations to Skybound, to Hasbro, to Larry Hama, to everyone who worked on the original Marvel run in every capacity, whether it be from editor to, inker to blimmin' letterer to artist, wherever it may be. Congratulations on what has been a phenomenal, nostalgic kind of like explosion, really, for that one. But again, really happy, and can't wait for people to start getting them in. Next up, we have Destro. Well, not Destro, sorry, but Destro's on the cover of A Real American Hero 307, which I read today. I was a little bit slow in catching up with this one. Usually I read it in the morning that it comes out, like 3 a.m. or whenever it comes out on Amazon. But no, I had to wait a little bit because I just didn't have time. So I read this today, and it was another good one. We've got, again, I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but we've got multiple factions building. We have Destro and Zartan on one side. We have Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender on another. We have Revanche, who are kind of with Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender, but Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender have other plans for that. They're using them, it would appear. And of course, you've got G.I. Joe and Cobra as well in the mix. And you've got, there's a lot of kind of pieces falling into place at the moment. And there's also a bit of tragedy in this one. I won't go into any spoilers, but we did get a few, what we can only assume at the moment are deaths, but you never know, really. Where you order from, Chris? What, in terms of comics? Or do you mean the figures, Philly? If it's the I'll just to negate that. If it's the action figures, I get them from GameStop, or if they're Pulse exclusive, I'll pre-order them. If they're anything else that falls into some weird zone that doesn't really make sense, I have like a few sources for that one, really. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I'm not picking and choosing. I do definitely want to get everything. It's just I'm catching up at the moment. I'm actually all the way caught up. The last figure that I'm missing in terms of stuff that is actually out, and I'm not counting Jinx, Norgahide, and Torch, and Doc, and so on, and Night Creeper just yet. All the retro figures. The only one I'm actually trying to find is Shadow Tracker, which I have been informed is actually the one that you're not gonna find. So if you missed out on Shadow Tracker, it's very likely you'll have to deal with the secondary market, because that apparently is a complete sellout. Yeah. So that said, that's the only figure I'm got to catch up on, and thankfully I have a very good friend in Paul Panfalone, aka Plastic Battles, who's hooking me up. So I'm almost all caught up on the that kind of like period where we were buying a house effectively, and I had to stop buying G.I. Joe figures because otherwise we couldn't afford it. So now we're in a much better position, and yeah, back in the game. And of course, I've got to say, loads of people have hooked me up. A lot of people during that time period were very kind, and again, Paul was one of them. He sent me a Buzzer and Ripper for free, so thank you very much for that, Paul. And a few of you guys and a few other friends hooked me up with other figures. So I've got Andrew Franks. Shout out to Andrew Franks. He hooked me up with a bunch of figures. So yeah, very much got looked after in that period. Yeah, that Shadow Tracker on Walmart is through a third party, Derek. That's why it's more expensive. It's not technically Walmart that are selling it. It's a third party through Walmart. But yeah. Chris is all caught up, but is he ready for HasLab? Yes, Flaffle, I bloody well am. Anyway, yeah, so A Real American Hero 307. Not going to do any spoilers for this one, but I am going to say it was another cracker. Lots of things lining up, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Really enjoying A Real American Hero, really enjoying the Energon universe. Skybound can do no wrong currently. Next up, then, they also, this is massive. So Skybound very recently revealed that G.I. Joe issue 1 is going to be coming in November, and this is going to be the ongoing G.I. Joe Energon universe comic. We've had lots of miniseries that have been building this, like, let's just say it, a little bit of genius on the part of Skybound to develop characters, to focus development in certain areas, to build the universe before we get into it. And I have to say, it's something that we haven't really seen done a great deal. We've seen them go directly into the universe and develop the characters through that particular that series, and then we've seen further along kind of like mini series of special missions or whatever it may be, little kind of sublines of the regular run that kind of do a little bit more development. But we've never seen this done before, where we've built up this universe, or I certainly haven't with G.I. Joe, built up the universe with mini series to then go into this main series, which is great. Like, this is so cool. Is this a whole new story arc? Well, technically, all the other miniseries have been their own different story arcs. So, yeah, I guess it will be. But all the miniseries have kind of, they've been connected, but they haven't had the same arc. Like, Duke had his own sort of arc, didn't he? Kind of leading into what he found out and what he uncovered and what have you. Cobra Commander had his basically an origin of how he came to be Cobra Commander, coming out of Cobra La and what have you. So, and Scarlet's, obviously, that's a different thing entirely. And the other thing is, we don't really know where they fall in terms of a timeline necessarily, until maybe this issue probably ties all that stuff together. So we'll probably see very soon. But yeah, you've got Megatron's arm, you've got Hound, they're sitting on Hound, the Soundwave seems to be kind of like getting stood on as well. And who's that with the red auto? That must be Prime, with the red Autobot kind of thing in the bottom right hand corner. It must be Prime, Megatron, Clutch, Hound, and Soundwave. But yeah, I love this wraparound cover where you've got Cobra on the back and the Joes on the front. I love the fact that we've got some new characters incorporated here. We have one that was, I think, appeared in Destro issue 1. So I'm not going to spoil that for you, but that particular character is probably the one in the black and red costume, is probably the character that showed up in Destro issue 1. And again, I'm not going to spoil that for you. You may notice the Baroness is wearing some weird clothes on the G.I. Joe side. That might be a bit of a spoiler, but at the same time, I'm not going to go into it. But you can pretty much guess what's going on there. And don't worry, it's not going to be forever, is it? Come on. I mean, there's so many people have been kind of like, I see comments sometimes of like, oh, why is that happening? It's like, well, you know why. You know why it's going to happen. Same with Mercer. I mean, come on. It's got to be, Mercer's got to be, like, at some point changing sides. I mean, it just has to be the case. So I'm sure it will happen. Destro 2 is just up as a preview at the moment, same time Toys. So that's going to be out in a couple of weeks, I believe. Diana says, I hope that's Noah Diaz. Are you talking about the person of color on the Joe side with the kind of bulletproof vest, the suit, and the shotgun? Very much, yeah, it could be. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but I don't know. It might just be. I think it's going to be a new character, and obviously it's a new character. But I believe they talk about a new character in the blurb. So yeah, and to be honest, Diana, I'm pretty sure you're gonna know, aren't you? So are you hinting that that's Noah Diaz? Because that's rather cool. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, very excited for this indeed. And again, you've got Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley, and Geordie Belair on the kind of creative team here. So Joshua writing, Tom art, and Geordie on colours. So this very exciting. I'm just been blown away by the engine on your universe, and I talk about it a lot, but it's worth talking about. And yeah, hopefully we'll be having some cool comic news bursts to talk about in the week next week. But yeah, really cool. Dinah says, no, I'm not on those books. I only get things if I deliberately ask, and I like to be surprised. Cool. Just wanted, yeah, I was only joking anyway, Diana, but yeah. Yeah, cool. Oh, Bad Wolf Media says, just jumping on the stream. So sorry if it's been discussed, but that image makes me really want a Mercer figure in the classified line. Same. And I think you're probably going to get Mercer, Red Dog, and Taurus either at the same time or close together. I know they didn't do the kind of Three Stooge Dreadnoks at the same time, but they were close enough, more or less. But I could see them doing Mercer, Red Dog, and Taurus around the similar kind of period of time, and just making them hench as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So again, lots of cool stuff to kind of get into with Skybound. Now, Destro issue 2 has popped up a 5-page or a 3-page preview. The other pages are covers, but I didn't want to spoil anything with that one, so we're just looking at the covers for this one. And as per usual, I have not done my due diligence to check who is on what cover in terms of the creative side. So I'm going to do my usual cheat where I usually go to the Talking Joe page and see if they've posted about it. And if they have, they'll have all the information for all the covers. The problem is the Destro issue 2 covers were revealed quite some time ago. And maybe I'll just have to guess, or maybe Mark is in the chat at some point and he can just say who did them in the chat. What is Kate doing up there, says RKW? She is literally running. Well, we're getting ready to leave tomorrow, so Kate, she's doing a lot of prep. I'm just trying to see if I can find any Destro 2 info here. No, can't find it at the moment, so I'm not going to bother. I should have done my due diligence. I didn't. Oh no, here they are. No, they're not. That was a lie. I'll just go ahead and say I don't know who did them. So anyway, great covers though. I love this one on the left with all the bats on fire, and you've got like Tomax and Zaymot in the background as well. Absolutely love that one, and the kind of like the grimace on Destro's face. I love the fact that you have emotive things happening on Destro's face a lot of the time, and you wonder, has he had to take that helmet off and put another one up on there for that face to work? Because this helmet, there's no way it'd just be like a fixed position. You look like Crichton from Red Dwarf most of the time. I also like that one with the twins reflected in his mask as well. That's really cool too. Helmet or mask, or is it a melmet, or is it a hask? What would you call Destro's thing? Is it a helmet? Is it a mask? Is it both? Is it interchangeable? Is it a hask? Is it a melmet? I quite like melmet. It sounds gross and it doesn't sound like what I'm describing. What would you call it? Just let me know. And you probably have got a proper name for it. Classified Ace Rimmer confirmed. Indeed, Ryan. I love that you always get my Red Dwarf kind of, references. Anyway, more twins coverage. That too might be a connecting cover with the other twin. I believe it might be, but it might be on a different issue number. And then, of course, you've got that, and then you will have more double like twins on the explosion background ones as well. And then as well, so of course, yeah, that's Destro issue 2. Very excited for that one. The first one was great. But also, just to finish off the comic section, don't forget the early bird bundle deal is a limited time offer for the Battle Action Force Treasury editions. So get involved with that one. Like I said, 3 issues for the price of 2, so 147.98. That's euros though. But yeah, get involved because yeah, this is historic as well, guys. And I will say that things are going really, really well with the pre-orders, which I'm very excited for. So if you do get in on this, just know that this is, yeah. We'll be getting Brian on again very soon to go over any more details, answer any questions from people in the chat. So yeah, Treasury Editions, Battle Action Force, link in the description. Go get these ordered. You are going to love this comic series, guys, seriously. And the fact that we're getting them in Treasury Editions as well is just mind-blowing. Official as well. Oh, it's just the best, man. So yeah, get involved. Yeah, so that's all the comics news for this particular weekly. I will definitely expect more comics news in the following weeks. But next up, we have got some very interesting information regarding the Bradford Exchange. Yes, the Bradford Exchange are back. You may remember the Bradford Exchange from doing a train set and some other little kind of items here and there and everywhere. But the train set had what was really funny on it. On one of the trains was the file card for the HIS driver, I think it is. And it's the one that Phil transposed incorrectly on yojo.com that people have been copying and pasting the text ever since, including from official means. So it's I think the second place that an incorrect, I think recruit instead of recruit, is the spelling error that appears now on 2, count them, 2 official releases for that particular file cards, which is hilarious, I think. So shout out to Phil Donnelly on that one. But yes, Bradford Exchange are doing a bronze Cobra Commander statue, and this one is, I think, $79.99 on the website. I think I've got it. Yeah, $79.99. They call them issues, and I'm going to read the blurb because it gives us some more information about what's to come as well. So, maniacal evil reigns, terror rules anew. Behold, the most dangerous man alive is elevated as never before in a lasting monument to chaos and corruption. Now, none other than Cobra Commander himself strikes first in a collection of artisan handcrafted G.I. Joe sculptures, sure to bring back the excitement of childhood adventures, now with distinguished adult appeal. Introducing the G.I. Joe Real American Hero Sculpture Collection, available only from the Bradford Exchange. Your officially licensed collection begins with issue 1, Cobra Commander. They call them issues, which is quite cute. Soon your collection continues with issue 2, Snake Eyes, issue 3, Duke, and additional G.I. Joe collectible sculptures, each a separate issue to follow. Expertly handcast of artist resin enhanced with real bronze powder, each sculpture in this collection gleams with hand-painted metallic tones and a lustrous patina painstakingly applied by hand. Immortalizing both good and bad guys from the Elite TV series, these cold cast bronze sculptures showcase ultimate authentic details from the fully equipped and intricately reproduced uniforms, capturing every wrinkle to the sculptural bases, complete with dog tag nameplates. These striking tributes are sure to make impressive additions to your G.I. Joe decor and a fantastic gift for any fan. This collection is a limited release and intense demand is anticipated, so don't let a quick sellout catch you off guard. Order now. Now, some of the things that's officially licensed, of course. What are the other important bits of information I need to tell you? Hand numbered with matching certificates of authenticity. Measurements are 3.5 inches wide, 8 inches high, 8.9 inches the other way. What? So hang on. Width, height, and width and height. Okay. Oh, it's because it's in inches and centimeters. That's why. So 3.5 inches wide, 8 inches high. There we go. Thank you. I was reading that, kind of going, huh? But they've just done it in both inches and centimeters, which is nice of them. Yeah, so that is pretty much everything. So, like I said, issue 1 is Cobra Commander. Snake Eyes will follow as issue 2, and Duke will follow as issue 3. Here is the actual statue. I might as well look at the images, right? I was once a bust, says Scott Skeen. That's hilarious. Toy Cartel, the scale is the size I read out, which again is 3.5 wide by, it's about 8 inches high. So the actual, if you look at the actual thing, yeah, about 6 inch. The figure is about 6 inches on. It's like a classified figure on a stand, basically. So it's about 8 inches with the stand and the, well, actually, there's probably a good inch and a bit with that snake as well, isn't there? So it's probably about 5 inches. So it's probably it's smaller than the classified figure, but pretty substantial. Substantial. Yeah, and it's got that Cobra Commander, codename Enemy Leader. Interesting. Grade Commander in Chief. Technically, his code name is Cobra Commander. He would be the enemy leader, right? Yeah, that's the wrong way around, I think, personally. But they're just being cute with it, I guess. So is it going to say Snake Eyes code name Commando? Is that's probably what we're going to get, isn't it? But that is odd. Yeah. Just got to meet Joshua Williamson. Got Duke #1 signed in the graphic novel. That's awesome, David. Where are you right now? Is there a con going on? What issue is Lightfoot, says Rachel? Funny, but I think issue 4. I once had articulation. I'm like, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Everyone gets a participation trophy if you smash the like and sub up. Thank you, Out of Shelf Space. Appreciate that. And here is another close up to kind of see some of the details. I think it's pretty cute. I think it's pretty cool, actually. They're like, again, it's an expensive. It's $79.99, like I said. You can pay in installments, which is actually that's quite nice, actually. I think there's a couple of installments you can pay, which does take the heat off a little bit, genuinely. Yeah, you can do 2 installments of $39.99 if you want, which is quite cool. That's actually not too bad, but I think it's really nice. I think it's really good, and I like the bronze aspect of it. And again, if you collect statues and you like the G.I. Joe statues, these are not bad to rock and roll with. Rock and Roll's issue 12. Anyway, I think is that everything for Bradford Exchange. I don't think there's much else to really talk about. Link in the description if you want to get involved, people. Now, we don't need to go into any more of it. I think it looks cool. That's about it, really, isn't it? Basically, it's a cool little thing, and if you like that sort of thing, you can get involved with it. Next up, then, we have got. Oh yeah, we're going into Super 7 news, because not only are we talking the kind of Palatoy inspired escape armor, but there's another bit of news that I kind of didn't really talk about the other day on the news burst, so we might as well get into that as well. Okay. Sorry, I love those. Oh, Michael Carter says, unfortunately, the Bradford Exchange is another bait and switch company. You never get what you pay for. That's a shame to hear. Yeah, because I've never really partaken in any of their stuff. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for the heads up on that, Michael. Anyway, it does look really cool, but like I say, yeah, that's a bit concerning if you've had issues with them in the past. What I was going to say other than that, okay, yeah, so we're into Super Cyborg escape armor. Now, I did talk about this in a lot of detail on Wednesday, was it, or Thursday? But I wanted to, have a little bit of discussion on the weekly aspect. And usually Pat's here and it makes sense to talk about it again. So here I am again talking about the escape armor, which I've already done for hours on end. It's on Pulse. It's $124.99. Link in the description. It's a big old hosser. It is obviously joins the Snake Armor original standard, which is already out, the Bat and the Clear Battle Android Trooper. And as you can see, it's quite hefty and would probably scale with Ultimates in that scene where the Snake Armor busts through the door in the Terradrome, and it's massive. So yeah, we do need Snake Armor in the classified, and I would go out on a limb and say we're probably going to see it fairly soon. Maybe. Yeah, I could see the snake armor in classified is what I'm saying, guys. Yeah, all right. Is that enough? Anyway, yeah. So this is I love the fact. What I really love about this is we don't get a lot. I say we don't get a lot of Palatoy stuff, but we've had when I kind of think about it, we've had quite a lot of cool Palatoy related items over the years now. Super 7 have a lot to do with that, so I thank them very much. But you know, things like, you know, the reaction obviously line, obviously now the what do you call it, Super Cyborg and Ultimates have done it as well with Red Jackal. I love the fact that we've had this kind of like little nods to that era of you know, that era of GI Joe, which you kind of, I mean, that's, you know, that's what it is at the end of the day. It's born out of that. To a degree, I would say it's got its own history, of course, but in terms of where it kind of, you know, where it's been kind of being, where it's been taken with this, with Red Jackal, with all of the kind of Hasbro related figures, repaints, and stuff like that. It's nice to get those little nods here and there. It really is. We've had in the past, we have had things like Skip done in the club. There's a 4-inch figure who was, and obviously Skip was an Action Force original character before it went, you know, kind of GI Joe articulated, 5-point of articulation, what have you. We have had those moments, and I'm, you know, and obviously now thanks to Skeletron, we're getting some phenomenal stuff with the Robo Skull and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we are definitely, I'm getting to that point where I can't say we don't get much love in the Palatoy era now, because we're getting it left, right, and center. So yes, there's a wink in there, guys. Okay. Fresh Monkey Fiction as well. Yes, good shout, RKW, with the Crimson Moon thing. That is also really dope as well, and I really like what they're doing with those. So yeah, you know, well, I can't really say that anymore. The foreign releases, the, you know, South American, the European, the GI Joe, sorry, the Action Force stuff and the Palatoy Action Force stuff. These things are getting recognized, and I like that a lot. So long may it continue. And this is one of those things where when I see something Red Shadows related, of course I'm going to be excited. Of course I'm going to be like, no matter what it is, even if it doesn't scale with the classified figures that I'm buying at the moment or fit with anything that I have, it's just nice to have something so cool representing that particular original vintage figure from back in the day. And this is so cool. I love the fact that it's very, who's you and P in? Thanks, Lawrence. I like the fact that it's very evocative, you know, of that original version. It is effectively like, or it feels like the proportions are pretty much on point. And again, I should have got a comparison shot of the two just to have a look. I promised I was going to do that, didn't I, on the last episode? My bad. But yeah, I think it's really, really awesome, and I like these a lot. Now, yeah, I fully expect snake armors to come in the classified series, and that is honestly where I'll be very excited to get the snake armor that a figure can go in and all that kind of stuff. But for now, it's nice to have a absolute on the nose homage to the escape armor. I really like it, and it's really cool. And here it is, all the different parts. So if you're not aware of Super Cyborg, I don't think that would be the case. I think everyone knows what we're dealing with here. But this just shows you, this is 2 images, don't get confused, half and half. So on the left-hand side, you've got the front section just removed to show off the like the kind of workings, the electronics and what have you. And then on the right hand side, you have that electronic section pulled off and the leg panels removed. So you can see the figure inside, or the kind of molded visage inside of the Red Shadow. And you've got like where the legs are kind of, you've just got the electronics on show. But you can, obviously, these are removable parts. Excuse me. Is it an armor, a robot, or both? I would say it's both. I think in some cases, Jeffrey, where they were in the tunnels in the Master Vice miniseries, I think they were robots, or they were done as robots. And then in other kind of things, we've seen kind of like, obviously the figure itself, the vehicle itself does house a figure. So, you know, it's a bit of both in that sense. And then when you look at the movie, and the snake armor that blows the doors down, you can almost see the Cobra trooper silhouette in like through the kind of glass eye section on there. So I would say both. I would say both on that one. But yeah, like you could probably get out of it, but it could also be automated. Like it doesn't have to be like powered by someone inside. It could just be like, yeah, it could just be like a, you know, set to bat mode sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, that's the breakdown of the armor. And here are a couple more sexy promo shots as well, showing you real close up the detail of the electronics panel in there, and of course a nice like shot of the trooper inside there as well, with all the panels removed as well. So that's really cool. Love that. Love it. Now the other bit of news was that they had on show at Joe Fest, and I did share this. I just forgot to kind of talk about it. But obviously, in package samples versions of the Wave 5 pending licensor approval, that's Hasbro, of Ultimates with CoverGirl, Major Blood, Crimson Guard, and Roadblock. All very cool. Oh, Scott says, showing a nice close-up of the radioactive material set on the driver's chest. Yeah, there you go. That nice green radioactive thing, that's that uranium that's going to be on your chest the entire time. Yeah, very dangerous, isn't it? But anyway, yes, so Ultimates Wave 5 in package and examples of that, and they do look very nice indeed. I do really enjoy the Ultimates line. I think it's very, very good. There have definitely been certain things that they've kind of worked out in terms of issues throughout the line. Obviously, there was the Wave 2 that had the face paint issue. But you know, since then, they've improved in certain areas. Some things they're still working on. Hopefully, by Wave 5, some of those things will be, you know, sorted as well. But so far, the line has been pretty cool, and we've got some amazing figures out of this. And if you're a Sunbow fan, I mean, it's just, you know, phenomenal stuff. Still sad that Deke Wave didn't make it. Really sad about that. But looks like we've still got Ultimates around the corner, which is great. And of course, with the amazing news of the O-ring kind of reveals and line and everything, that was crazy. Why does CoverGirl have one random missile? I believe again it's from the miniseries, isn't it? No, it's from her. It's from her Wolverine. It's a Wolverine missile. That's what it is. That's why she has a random missile, because they can't make the Wolverine, Michael. It's literally a Wolverine, you know, rocket. Her vehicle, original vehicle, as a figure. Okay, coolsies. Right, that is it for Super 7. Motoring through. Next up, I can't remember what's next. It might be Mezco. I'm going to just say Mezco and see what happens around the corner, because I can't make it out from the little image I'm looking at. Oh, it's professional on here, isn't it? Okay, let's talk Mezco then, I guess. Yeah, it was. It is. As you can see, I'm not sure how bright your screen is, but mine isn't very bright. I've got the light behind it, obviously, like glistening on my sweaty skin, so it's hard to kind of see what's going on sometimes. And yeah, Snake Eyes is effectively just that's just black screen right now that I'm looking at. In any case, lols aside, yeah, we are talking Mezco Toys Snake Eyes. Now, the Commando Snake Eyes version dropped in the week, and obviously it's 112 collective, so it's a 6-inch size. They've got soft goods. He looks very awesome. I like this one. I did say at the time, I feel like the soft goods on the top, I know he wears a sweater originally, but I kind of think I would have preferred them to do some sort of texture on it. And when I say texture, some like more obvious like texture, like kind of almost like sewn in lines, segments and stuff. And I know he just has the sweater as the original, and that's what they're going for. And I think it's really cool still. And it might be one of those things where you see it in hand, you might go, oh yeah, it doesn't need that. But I think from some of the images I was looking at, he looked a little bit like plain a little bit. And I know, again, the original figure technically is, but you know, that's all I'm getting at really on that side of things. But I've got to say, it's pretty cool. Oh, did this sell out? Did this Mezco Toys one sell out, by the way? Because I didn't know that, and I hadn't checked it. Have they sold out already? That's crazy. I'm checking because I don't believe I've read that correctly. Someone can obviously tell me in the comments before I get there, if I ever do get there. I'll see you when you get there. Where are you, Mezco Snake Eyes? My goodness, that took a while. Oh, waitlist pretty limited. Interesting. Join waitlist. That's impressive. Okay, well, that's cool. I'm kind of happy about that in a weird way. I'm really like, this is the thing. I want all of these GI Joe things to be successful, and it's nice to know that at some point, um, like somebody is going to want that particular thing that comes out. Whether it be a bronze statue of Cobra Commander, or a like a friggin' compendium Kickstarter, or a Mezco figure like this. That's really good. I'm really happy about that, even if I missed out on it. Like like again, my collecting focus now is very one dimensional. It is classified, and that's pretty much it. Anything else is usually a very thought. I'm like, think about it, and by the time I thought about it, it's gone anyway. So that is my kind of collector focus is different in that sense. So to see these things be successful without me having to get in on it just takes the pressure off. Honestly, so I'm really happy about that. That's really wicked. And again, it's Snake Eyes. I mean, let's face it. And also, Mezco have been pretty solid. I mean, yes, there've been delays, and there've been times when you kind of like, is that figure coming out? But at the same time, when they do come out, they're phenomenal figures. The Destro I have is glorious. If I could afford it, I'd be buying every single one of these day one. But yeah, I'm very impressed with the level of quality from them. So yeah, these are great. And again, this Commando Snake Eyes, pretty dope. And I'm really glad a lot of people have ordered it. Lovely stuff. Oh, I was going to wait on it, but someone on His Tank figured out how many they had left, so I got FOMO and ordered, which is a good idea. Yeah, nice one. HasLab Defiant in 2025. Come on, grassroots, y'all. My goodness, Stygian, that would be massive, wouldn't it? That would be ridiculous. Anyway, Snake Eyes looks good. Love, and I did talk about this when I did the burst in the week, but I think Mezco do some really nice and fun promo images. Now, this is more about the kind of after effects than it is the initial photography, but they still do wonderful posing, really good images, really good pictures of the figure, and then they start adding these wonderful like effects, like the blast effects and the CGI almost, and all that. And it's just like there's some really really cool stuff that they incorporate into it, and I just really like them. And they're always really fun and dynamic. And yeah, and like again, we're kind of spoiled when it comes to GI Joe and promo images. Like everyone seems to just do some phenomenal work when it comes to the promotional aspect of this license that they all have, and Hasbro as well. Like they do great things with promo images. I love it. I sort of wish they went full force on the retro carded images rather than just do explosion background poses. I'd like to see those, with in certain diorama scenarios and stuff. But I get it. It kind of makes it's they've got their little niche where they show the different poses, the different weapons configurations for each retro figure on the explosion backgrounds. I get it. It makes sense. I just sometimes I want to see them in their natural habitat. Do you know what I mean? Which is in a storage container in a storage locker. Just kidding. But yeah, these are great, and I love the shots of the other figures. This Roadblock buddy cop movie running from an explosion image is it. I'm here for this one, 100%. And then of course, yeah, the brilliant one of, and I talked about this as well on the burst, but the kind of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon scene where Michelle Yeoh and I forget her name again. Paul, you mentioned it the other night if you're in the comments, Zhang Jiji. And they're doing that thing with the legs where they're kind of really close, but like they're kind of like flipping the legs around each time. Like that's what it looks like with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow here. If you haven't seen that movie, watch it. I'm gonna watch that tonight. That's gonna be my like chill out, go to sleep thing tonight because I'm definitely gonna watch the 3 minutes of that and fall asleep. Um, and yeah, and again, this battle with Firefly is really cool as well. So much going on in these dynamic shots. I love it, and the spray effect, yeah, that's dope. Again, behind the wall as well, shooting, hiding, shooting. That's Time Crisis right there, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about, guys? That is 100% Time Crisis. Now I want to play Time Crisis, the original arcade. Let's do it. Let's all go play Time Crisis, right? Roblox is getting too old for this stuff. Yes, Scott, that is exactly what I'm thinking of in this kind of, that is like, yeah, it's like a Lethal Weapon vibe, isn't it, right there? Yeah. For just a bit more than Mezco, you can get a 3.0 12-inch figure. Yes, RKW, and they are phenomenal as well. And if I could, I'd be ordering all of those too. But yeah, I have to rein it in, unfortunately. Anyway, yeah, there's the final promo shot of that. And this is one of my favorites, this kind of pose. You know, love it. Really cool. Awesome. Anyway, comes with an absolute cacophony of gear. Obviously, his head sculpt, but it's just the one. He doesn't have an alternate one on this time. 10 hands, interchangeable, all doing different things. Obviously, you got the figure stand and the clear kind of posing post as well. Pistols with interchangeable magazines, 3 of them, and of course, like 2 the same and 1 different one. Who's Rein it in? Brilliant, Scott. Rene in. I like it. That's a good one. And that kind of like submachine gun hand pistol sort of job as well. Also, C4 explosive and detonator. They all seem to have those. They're great, aren't they? The rifle with interchangeable magazines, 4 grenades, submachine gun with interchangeable magazines, 2 Uzi style machine guns with, again, interchangeable mags. 4 of those. So yeah, lovely stuff. 2 each, basically. And then you've got the walkie-talkie, 2 bicep straps, the grappling hook with rope, knife, the messenger bag for grenade storage, and 5 gun blast effects, as you can see on camera. So a decent amount of stuff. The Mezco stuff does come with a lot of cool accessories. I do like it. It's very like, it's sort of like, you know, I like Classified is phenomenal. I love Classified, but it's done in such a way that you can afford it and you can kind of like buy all the figures, sort of. But you know, it's like Mezco is kind of like another level where obviously you've got soft goods, very intricate extra accessories, and a much bigger loadout, you know, like kind of like to the level of like a deluxe figure. So it really is kind of like a high-end 6-inch figure, basically. That's how I see Mezco, and they do great things. So keep it going, Mezco. You're doing amazing things. Daniel says, please no more Snake Eyes. I know, it's like, but you like, saying that is like saying no more Captain America or no more Iron Man or no more, you know, no more Wolverine, please. I mean, it's just not going to happen. He's the literal figure point. He is the popular good character. You know, like Cobra Commander's probably just as iconic. Destro's iconic as well, but like Snake Eyes is the one. You know, he's Neo. Anyway, if Mezco do a snow serpent, I might cave in, RKW. That's nuts. I'd love a snow serpent. Think of the gear it would come with. It'd be amazing. Anyway, that is Mezco Snake Eyes. I've already talked a lot about Mezco Snake Eyes, I feel, so I don't need to continue with that. Should we get into what is both really cool but also very confusing as well, and that is Hiya Toys, guys, are back. Just when you thought Yojo June was going to finish without a Hiya Toys reveal, I can't even remember if they did. There was Stalker in June. He probably was, wasn't he? But I'm just saying, just in case you thought we were going to finish the month without more Hiya information, you'd be wrong. Yes, Hiya Toys have revealed yet another, their 21st, is it? Exquisite mini 4-inch G.I. Joe figure, Dusty. I mean, like, okay. I'm glad that the line is so big, but also we've had 2 figures. we've had 2 figures released in this line, and you can argue there's more, but there isn't. It's like Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow have seen the light of day, and everything else is just, well, maybe. Stygian, you kind of nailed it there, and I think you may have made the similar comment on the post earlier. But yeah, it feels like an NFT at this stage. I would say, like, if they could get their release cadence going a bit better, I would be more inclined to be kind of excited for these things. But genuinely, we are like 21 deep, possibly 22. I can't remember the amount at the moment off the top of my head. 20 odd figures revealed, 2 in hand. And the other ones are like almost a year delayed. 20, is it? Is this 20 RKW? Is Dusty 20 or is Dusty 21? Because it feels like I was saying 20 to Stalker last time. Maybe it was 19 with Stalker and 20 with Dusty. Either way, I still haven't done that graphic, and I might do that graphic just for lols now that we've got 20. It's an insane number deep with only 2 available, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Dusty is 20. Okay, damn. I mean, like, come on. I mean, it's cool. It's classified Dusty, but, you know, Hiya Toys 4-inch side scale. Also, surprised I didn't put the goggles, which he does come with, the exterior goggles, on the hat, the headgear as well, because I think that would make sense. Because at the moment, Dusty looks a little weird without those, doesn't he? With just the headgear on. Get those goggles on it, please. I get the impression they do not care how absurd the optics are. I don't think they do really. But it's cool that they've got so many figures like in this line already. I didn't think that we'd have 20 figures in the line already, but even though we don't, we have 2. But you know what I'm saying? It's still, you know, it still boggles my mind. And it's such a shame that there isn't. I mean, it's better. Well, I say it's better now. At least there's an accessibility to at least pre-ordering them now through like smalljoes.com. And there's a couple other places obviously that do them, that people have been getting. Robot Kingdom was one. There's a couple other places that were doing it as well. But you know, it's been difficult really. If you like this 4-inch kind of, you know, format, and you like the figures they're doing, and you like them in the kind of mini classified figures, then it's great. But the fact that we can't really. Cool Toys Club, thank you, Jeffrey. Cool Toys Club was the other one, thank you. These are the action figure equivalent of vaporware, says Tim. He looks a little nude without the goggles, Scott. Yes, but you wrote rude. I think you meant nude, but I like the fact that he also looks a little rude without the goggles. Now, if I was to read that back in Norfolk, where I originated my life, that would be a different sentence. It would. He looks awesome without the goggles, is what that would translate to. If something's rude, it's really cool in Norfolk. Oh, that's rude. That's well rude. Not in a bad way, in a good way. So there you go. There's another little bit of country grammar for you from Norfolk. Anyway, yeah, so I like the fact you wrote rude without the goggles. If you meant rude, I like it. It also feels like nude, though, is what you meant. Anyway, beyond that now, aren't we? Dusty looks good. Again, it's very close to the classified as we expect now. The knee pads give it away really more than anything else. The rest of it is very close to the vintage figure anyway. That kind of midsection, though, has got that belt thing. That's definitely like something that I don't think we see on regular Dusty. Do we see that much of a kind of midriff belt? Yeah, I guess we do. Just looks like a normal belt from here. That looks like a little bit more's going on the Hiya Toys one. Maybe it's the actual classified belt on the 4-inch figure. They like doing that with some of the weapons and stuff, don't they? Like 2-ups almost. You did mean rude. Good. His helmet in particular. Right. So his helmet looks like a helmet, is what you're saying, Scott. Yeah. I like it. Good. It does actually. Now you come to mention it. Now all I can see is a bell end. Brilliant. This is a family show, but it is at 8 o'clock. So watershed or whatever. Yeah, and here he is without his helmet, Kitty said, or his headgear, and again looks really good. I like this I like this figure. I think it's really awesome, and that's one of my favorite head sculpts they've done so far. For the actual exposed head, Kitty said. But yeah, very cool. Good figure. I like it. Here's some more shots with that clear background. There he is. Oh, he's got the goggles on, but not on the top of his helmet, of his headgear, which is, again, really surprising they didn't do that, considering that there they are, like, two sets of goggles, one for the top of his head and one for his actual face. Nice. Interchangeable hands, the cool backpack, the rifle with the bipod. Yes, correct. This time it is a bipod, and the figure stand, and of course the secondaries with the knife. You can see the knife in the holster on his ankle. Anyway, needs more camo on his face. It's just got the two little stripes on the bottom there, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think it needs a lot more. He's got 3 stripes. He's got like the Flint Tiger Force almost, doesn't he? But yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. I think that's a decent amount of camouflage. You don't want to get too much on there. It gets a little bit ridiculous sometimes. But no, I think it's good. Ryan says, if anyone is still excited for this line, well, I've got some higher GI Joes to sell you. Are they all images, Ryan, that you're selling? Ray is excited. To be honest, Ray, I also am excited whenever I see these. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I immediately think, we have only got 2 so far of 20. Hopefully they can churn a few more out. I'm hoping there's a backlog, and about 5 figures come out at once. That would be really cool, and start delivering for people. The pose on the right is Dusty pulled a hamstring pose. It really is, Daniel, isn't it? Right, that it's like, you can feel it. It's just gone in his thigh. Yeah, in the back of his thigh, definitely. Just so you guys know, they did release their 112 Rambo. Yeah, the Rambo looked great. I love that Rambo. It's kind of, I mean, it's a bit easy when it's just the one figure. But at the moment, when you've got like a whole line of these things and only 2 out, yeah, you know. Either way, I'd like it if they can bust out a few GI Joe figures soon. And I like the extra deco on the backpack. Actually, I think that's really cool. That's rude, Scott, in it. Yeah, that's well rude. Anyway, that's Dusty. That's Hiya Toys. That's all I'm going to talk about with Hiya Toys, because we've got even more to get into this week, believe it or not. And we are going to be talking, I think, you know, again, I've talked a lot about this, but it's the biggest news of the week, and it's the SDCC exclusive. Once a Man. I had the ability to to play the video, but for some reason just kept it going a little bit longer than it should needed to be. Yes, SDCC Once a Man Cobra Commander has been revealed. Now, there's been a little bit of news as well regarding, you know how I said Raptor was going to be an SDCC exclusive, right? And that's been haunting me the last couple of days. But it turns out that it might still be the case. We don't know yet. We can't confirm. But there might be more than one SDCC exclusive. Now, I'm just saying that now to soften the blow as it gets closer to the SDCC. But yeah, like the listings that we have not changed. So that said, I will. I'm still going to say, obviously, this is SDCC and Raptor isn't until we find out for real, or until we see actually what happens. It might be that some figures are going up over SDCC as pre-orders and might have been labeled incorrectly as exclusives, when in actual fact they're just going up as pre-orders. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Excuse me. Stick to Zarana. Yeah, okay. Because my Once a Man thing. Okay, fine, Jedi Ben. You don't like all of my impressions. Okay, I get it. So what happens with Road Pig? Nothing's happened with Road Pig. He's coming out. He's figuring Animal Companion. I'm not going to slip up and tell you what it is, but that's going to be later in the year, 100%. Is on his way. On his way. Yeah, so there you go. Once a Man Cobra Commander, definitely SDCC, and that is official and is Fred Deluxe, which is great. ticks off another one of the you know, the listings, which when we go through this journey, we get like a big listings block, don't we? And then slowly but surely we just unlock them all. What's funny is we do have a lot more information for 2025, which is so surprising that we're in 2024 and we don't have everything that we know about for 2024 still to this minute, and yet we've unlocked what, like, we know almost everything that's coming in 2025 bar about 7 figures. Isn't that nuts? Anyway, hopefully some more name only reveals come up soon, because I am desperate to reveal some, well, you know, to unlock some listings. I won't be revealing anything. They'll be revealing that officially. I'm not big on Cobra, but I want this as 80s Toy Boy. Isn't that funny how that happens sometimes with, you know, some people don't like that kind of aspect of the brand, but then an action figure comes out that just changes the game. I think Pythona did it in the 4-inch. I think, you know, like certain figures that people thought were ridiculous did amazing things in the 4-inch line with the club, like Raptor. I think Raptor was incredible. But like, you know, I think if the figure's done right, people just jump on board. They're like, I want that figure. It's amazing. It's got a mini mutated Cobra Commander with it, for goodness sake. It's incredible. Chris, when we getting the Fang and Claw? Asks Seth Van Boeven. I can't say anything, but what I will say, at least one of those is got to happen soon, hasn't it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's all I'll say on that one. But yeah, I mean, one of those is pretty much on the list, I would say. I'm not going to say which one though. That's going to really bug everyone, isn't it? Everyone's going to be like, which one is it going to be? Oh, come on. I just like being that horrible person that does that every now and again. I'm also the same with that, Stygian. I don't want multiple classified exclusives. I don't think there will be. I think it was a situation where they're probably just going up over that weekend or that week or whatever. But we'll see. We'll see pretty soon. We're not having to wait like a year to find out, are we? We're going to be finding out in weeks, basically. So yeah. Anyway, Cobra Commander looks phenomenal. I love what they've done. The artwork in the box, next level. John Jiang, people are speculating. We don't know for sure, but it's very likely because it's got John's style, that kind of like atmospheric kind of like foreground crackle, almost fire or light or whatever it may be, you know, embers. He does all sorts of cool stuff, and that artwork is that, and also that's lenticular according to the description. So who's lenticular? So I'm very excited to see what that actually looks like in reality, in my face. And I broke down the art that's on there on the last episode. Of course, in the background you've got the vines with the claws on them, which obviously capture a lot of the Joes and put them in little cocoons in the movie. You can see them just about in the background behind Cobra Commander. Of course, you've got Cobra Commander kind of like in mid transformation, still with his mask, his helmet on. You've got Globulus on the left hand side, looking very cool and almost, you know, we're kind of insinuating there may be a Globulus in the future as well, which again, I'm here for. Let it happen. Then, of course, you've got Nemesis Immortal on the right-hand side. Very much kind of like mimicking Wings style from the original Sunbow animation. I'm wondering now if on Nemesis Immortal, could you take those arm bits off on the articulated joint and put the wings directly into his back, so he's got like short, like close in wings, and those little extra arms are like extra to kind of make it look a different kind of, almost like the classified version. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if that's got anything like, you know, they almost like to show that they grow out a little bit when he gets like really angry. I don't know. I'm like looking at that image on the right hand side. I'm not sure if, you know, maybe John's taken more inspiration from the animated movie, because you've also got the holes in the wing, which I can't remember actually on the other one. They probably are. It's been so long since I looked at the leaked images and the actual official images now, the official box, not unboxing, but box reveal. Anyway, Um, Michael the Bird says Cobra La arrived right around the time I discovered psychedelics, so I have a very specific spot in my heart for that particular part of the movie. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. I have never partaken, but that sounds like one intense ride during watching Cobra La at the same time. Um, Brilliant. And then, of course, we've got the spore open, kind of like either slowly, kind of about to pulsate and open, kind of giving out some bits of, like I don't know, some bits of sporage there. That's very cool as well. And then you've got what effectively could be Night Force Falcon. It looks like Falcon, so I imagine it might be the Night Force version that's just around the corner. And of course, we've got Roadblock, his kind of wrapped up with Cobra Commander, which is really cool as well. So I like all this stuff. Brilliant, brilliant artwork. And if it is John Jiang, phenomenal work, John. Great work. And then on the back, we have like a little slight update to that artwork that shows Cobra Commander fully like mutated, basically, which is really cool. Still with his gloves on. Likes to keep his gloves on when he's in snake mode. But brilliant. There you go. Also, 130 is the number for this one. Here is the figure, and the figure, there's just such a pop with that yellow and blue, isn't there? There's just something really awesome about it. And yeah, like extra hands. You got a pointy, you got a kind of clawy one, you got two fists, you got the alternate head, or you got the mutated head, you got the Cobra Commander helmet head, you got the extra face plate, which I'm so glad they included. Such a good addition. The pistol, the hairdryer pistol, the holster for the pistol, which plugs into the secondary jacket that he's got, which is kind of all ripped and messed up. The knife, obviously, which goes into his thigh sheath, and you've got Cobra Commander as a snake as well. Brilliant stuff. Here is the package in package with the other art on the interior door, with retro Cobra Commander in a sticky clam situation, and in the distance you can see Globulus with his in his like I call it his like technically it's his like a Zimmer frame for Cobra La, isn't it? It's his like vehicle that he floats around in. Gross little ball. And of course Nemesis Immortal flying over the snake statue as well. Very cool. A lot of these kind of call outs you can see on Nemesis Immortals box as well from a different angle. So that's really awesome. And then the figure in the window box, which is great, and Roadblock's art on the on the interior. It's like it's not a Roadblock figure, guys, but honestly, they're just calling out the snaky Cobra Commander, which is great. It looks awesome. I'm into it, and the promo images are next level as well. Here he is just shooting in the distance, angry that he's mutating. Here he is losing his helmet, pointing at the people that did this to him, covering his face with the other hand, with the faceplate on the ground there, and you can see the pistol and like plugged into his back there as well, which is really cool. You also have this shot, which is brilliant. I love this. So they've put the alternate head in such a position that looks like the helmet is on its own and fallen off, and the faceplate is separated, cracked, and is like there as well. Love that. And obviously him like in the blurry background. So good. John Jiang did do the art. Brilliant. Thank you, Seth. Tim says, anyone else think the bottom of his pants look weird with the paint smears instead of tears in the fabric? I understand why they've done that, Tim. I don't think it's weird because it matches the top. The top's got like a kind of like an extra deco hit on it of like, dirt and grime and all sorts. So I don't know. I don't think it's weird. I just I think it would have been cool if we could have had like maybe half a lower leg exposed. I think that would have been great. Just kept one normal leg and done the other leg. I think that would have worked an absolute treat. John will be at SDCC, no doubt. I mean, he usually is. He usually is. John Jiang, that is. And then here's the faceplate. Kind of, you can see the kind of all of the kind of like mechanics inside the faceplate, which is really cool. Again, next level. And you can see cracks on the faceplate there as well, which is really dope. So it's really bust up. I like it a lot. Yeah, and then of course we've got him to the heavens, upset, and it kind of one of his eyes does look like a little teardrop there, which is fun. Anyway, looks amazing. Great figure. And here he is, obviously, with the knife, showing that off as well. And this is great because it shows all the textures, and it's not just like the same all over the body. There's a lot there's a lot going on with this sculpt, and I love how like the backbone is kind of like highlighted as it's going down. I love that. Love that a lot. Um, yeah, phenomenal stuff. And the textures all over the body. I love it. So good. And then, of course, you've got the snake itself. And this is brilliant. We're assuming shoulder articulation only. And of course, maybe like a pliable bendiness around the kind of like the tail. But we'll see, won't we? Love that. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And here's another shot again of that from a different angle. I love the design of this. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. And here he is wrapped around Roadblock, version 1 of the classified series, the homage to version 2. And it's definitely not the field variant because it's the gold knee pad look. There you go. Anyway, brilliant stuff. Amazing figure. Here we are with the white background shots as well. Is there any more? Yeah, there's one more. Just shows all the loadout. I am 100% down for this one. Now, we have had other classified news this week, which, because do I need to continue about Cobra Commander? Not really. We've said all that needs to be said. It's great. It's going to be at SDCC. Can't wait. There's a whole like explanation, a link in the description for how to purchase this particular figure. If you go, you only can get them at the show. You go to the show, you get a ticket basically with a time on it, and you go and collect your you go and buy your exclusive in that allotted time, and there will be some made available on Pulse after the show, as they did with Chuckles and stuff like that. So if your friends can't help you out with at SDCC, then at least there'll be the opportunity on Pulse after the fact. Okay, it's going to be a popular one, do not get me wrong, but I think if you're on it and you're paying attention, you should be okay. That said, it could be, it could be rapid, this one, because I think everyone's going to want this. Anyway, in any case, let's talk the extra bit of news that came out very recently, and that is Lenny posted another input, and this time it's of Junkyard, and all the kind of bits and bobs he comes with. I love this. So I just love seeing these little inputs. I find them really interesting. How bizarre! Sorry, that was for Renegade Biker there. So yeah, there you've got Junkyard and his good boy face. And Lenny even says in the post, it's been a bit since I last posted something, so here is the input for Junkyard. I think the best part about this guy was designing the good boy face. The doggo armor is cool, but I mean the good boy face. Hope everyone had a great Joe June and enjoyed all the reveals. Yo Joe. So there you go. I just wanted to throw that in there because I thought it was really fun. And a nice little kind of, I don't know, I don't know, just really like these little posts that he does. In any case, moving on, we have the leaked listings for 2024. Like, this is where we are currently. I'm not going to put SDCC next to Raptor at the moment because I just don't think it is, but we will see what happens in the next couple of weeks. And the rest of it has all been updated. We still don't know who Whipsnake's 2-pack is confirmed, but we do have a good idea, strong idea, that it's probably that Steel Core Commander 2-pack, based on their Omar, or their kind of appearance Easter egg in the Iron Grenadiers promo images. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, really. Not much else to say with that one. And 2025 is still the same until we get some name only reveals but going, basically. But we do have quite a few of this known now, and hopefully we can, like I say, get to revealing some of it eventually. But it might just be one of those things where we just have to wait for the name only reveals or leaks or what have you. But either way, this is where we are at the moment with 2025. Xandar, Saw-Viper, Leatherneck, and Dialtone will be the first retail wave of 4, as we have been informed. And Frag Viper, Blowtorch, and Footloose are 3 of the 4 of the next standard retail wave of 4. with Smithers in there as well. Okay, that's pretty much it for that. Name only reveals. I updated the graphic, so I hope everyone's happy. I removed Once a Man Cobra Commander, so now we are up to date with the name only reveals officially out there currently. And digital renders, Dial Tone and Saw Viper are the only ones we have currently. Hopefully, we get a few more over SDCC. Hopefully, that panel will really blow up, and we'll get loads of cool stuff in there as well. Right then, I think that is everything. I think next up, yeah, it's shout outs. We'll bring the show to a close, and then I can get on with packing for, going away for a bit. Have you tried Hoarder yet? No? Well, you need to. If you have a collection of things and want to create a fun and easy way of organising it and of course showing it off, then get involved. You can post items and build collections, and you can drop a status like getting a fun delivery or seeing some awesome related stuff on your travels. Build your collections with Hoarder. The app is free to download on Google Play and the App Store, so what are you waiting for? Get to hoarding. All right then, shout outs. So, of course, we'll have to start with Pat, who can't be with us today. Obviously, he is, obviously, he can't do Fridays. And obviously, I'm going to be, not available on Saturday. So, shout out to Pat. Next week's also going to be an issue, but we'll get back to it in a couple of weeks' time. Anyway, shout out to Pat, and also to Phil of Articulated Points fame. And I'll also say that I think Phil plans to be doing the SDCC panel again this year, so we'll have to keep a lookout for that. And yeah, go check out Articulated Points as well on YouTube. Link in the description. Also, massive shout out to my wonderful wife Kate and Phoebe and the family. We had mum and dad come and visit from the UK for the last couple of weeks, and it was amazing, and we had a great time. And there's Kate just running past. Hi, darling. And yeah, it was awesome seeing mum and dad again. We spent a lot of quality time together. Somehow, I don't know how it's possible, but I would go into work at like 3 or 4 a.m. Not kidding. Do like 4 or 5 hours, get back home, be in good time, spend the day with the folks, go to bed or whatever at like a fairly reasonable time, and do it all again. And I did that pretty much every day. Like, I was going into work, apart from there was one day where we had a holiday. I think it was Juneteenth. So we got lucky with one of the days, but for the most of the time I had to go in and hustle at like 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning. And I tell you what, it taxes you. It's the burning the candle at both ends scenario. In any case, I'm happy that I managed to spend as much quality time as I did with my folks, who had a great time. Did a lot of walking around the area. They loved it. We live in the most gorgeous area. It is ridiculous. We have gotten very fortunate, very lucky, but we've worked really hard for it. But we are in the most beautiful area where we live. Honestly, you go out at any time, and it is just, we're near water. We've got this neighborhood is incredible. So yeah, we're really happy with where we are. And yeah, just a massive shout out to the folks, and they really enjoyed staying with us for 2 weeks. Anyway, we're going to see Kate's family next, so can't wait for that one. It's going to be awesome. Really excited. And yeah, it's just it's just long. It's a long journey, isn't it? But yeah, that's why all of the, anyway, shout out to my wonderful wife, who's doing a stellar job at the moment right now. Also shout out to Brian Sauer, who does our fantastic graphics, and of course, in relation to Brian, he also runs Codename Iowa's Assembly Required. Now we're going to be getting more information about Assembly Required soon. It will be happening on the 8th and 9th of November of this year, and will be in Des Moines, Iowa. And all the information will be coming very soon, like hotels and venues and all the other bit, all the other stuff that comes with it will be coming out very soon. And we'll probably get Brian on the show as well and probably talk about it. So there you go. Now, as well as that, massive shout out to Bob Breakin, who celebrated his diagnostic 80th birthday yesterday. So massive shout out to Bob. Hope you had a wonderful birthday, Bob. Well, obviously we just shared Skeletron's post because we're lazy like that. But they did a wonderful post celebrating Bob's birthday. And of course, yeah, massive shout out. It was so sad we couldn't meet up when you were down in Joe Fest. We were really gutted. We're having massive FOMO, by the way. Joe Fest looked incredible, and we the whole time we were just like, "Ugh." But you know, these things happen, and we will definitely 100% be trying to bust a gut to get there next year. And again, like hopefully Bob can return because by all accounts it was incredible and Bob had a great time. And yeah, massive shout out to Bob. We love you, man, and we are so amazingly proud of you and what you've done for this amazing community. Whether you know it or not, you are absolutely 100% loved, and yeah, especially by us. So yeah, massive shout out to Bob and happy birthday. 80 diagnostic 80, amazing. And also the Joe Fest exclusive is going to be made available, the variant Skeletron card back by Doug Hart. So Doug Hart with the artwork, and of course it's the Skeletron figure. It's basically the same figure that we've had already, but with the head switch are kind of happening on there in package. So I just want to read out the details for this one so I don't get it wrong. But there was blurb to go along with this. Obviously, it's going to take me ages because I'm not prepared. I mean, I prepare a dramatic amount, right? I do a lot of prep. I do a lot of work. But some things I just forget are going to be necessary, like the blurb at hand when I get to this point. So, after making its debut at Joe Fest, Skeletron.com will be offering this special variant card back of our Retro Series 2-in-1 Wolf Trooper Skeletron, featuring breathtaking Skeletron artwork by the legendary Douglas Hart, whose iconic style adorned G.I. Joe packaging in the 1980s and 90s. The figure is from the same production run as our sold-out Grindstone Toys Retro Wolf Trooper, also illustrated by Doug Hart, so this variant will appeal to those who missed out, want more, or simply enjoy another carded version with a killer Skeletron cardback design. Shipping worldwide for the same $26.99 price as our sold-out Retro Wolf Trooper. We also offer $4 flat rate shipping in the United States. Mark your calendars for 1 p.m. Eastern on Friday, which has already happened, the 28th, to grab this, which is today, to grab this beautifully carded retro action figure that will hit you right in the feels. So 1 p.m. happened already. There you go. Go get it if you need to. In fact, while I'm here, well, I'm here and about 8 hours late, and it's probably sold out. There it is. Just want to check. Just checking. Available. Brilliant. Okay, I'm definitely getting a couple of those. Yeah, sorted. Am I going to do it now while I'm on the chat? I'll do it later. Anyway, go get it. It's available. Right in your feels, guys. Also, massive shout out to Kickley, who dropped another one of these minutes before I went live. So thanks, Kickley, for always doing that. Or you always seem to do it right at the last minute. Anyway, so I will say amazing work still here with Stalker, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow on the left hand side, and of course Scarlet taking out a bunch of Crimson Guards in quite an impressive way there. Scarlet, I'll tell you that much. Right, the kind of thigh attack is brilliant, but this is really awesome. Kickley even mentioned that he's added some sort of narrative into this, and I'm not sure what to think. So I'm just gonna wait and find out what he says about this one. But love that. He also dropped this wonderful action soldier. Like he's done this as a case study almost with the action soldier, where he kind of like, he kind of does it very similar to the original. But I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And of course, Lady J kicking Interrogator in the face, brilliant. Like it's so. I mean, she's balancing on one of her spears dug into the wall for one, and kicking him in the face with the other. Just brilliant. Love this. I don't even know how it's happening, but it's happening. Actually, is the spear in him? It's in him. It's dug into his chest, and she's balancing on it and kicking him in the face. That's even hard. That's even more hardcore. I had just misread that completely, and now I see it. It's clear as day. That interrogator is in serious trouble. but that's brilliant, isn't it? Love that. Some proper kick-ass female jobs there. Scarlett and Lady J doing some amazing things. Anyway, brilliant stuff. Love it. Now, a couple other things I just want to point out. This beautiful piece by Paul Pamphilone, Plastic Battles, he always does the most. I love Paul's work, right? I will highlight it whenever he does it. He doesn't do, like, he used to do loads, but he doesn't do it as much now. So when he does drop a wonderful piece, I have to, share it. And this is gorgeous. Like Big Boa, kind of like, with the wraps on his hands and his knuckles. Obviously, just done some workout with the the weights and everything. This diorama is wicked. You've got the punching bag hanging up as well in the background. The little kind of like water, between his legs and everything. I love it. I love everything about this shot. It's beautiful. So great work from Paul. Go check Plastic Battles out. He does Thursday night battles on Instagram as well. Go check him out. It's definitely worth it. Brilliant stuff. Now, this always is very difficult to talk about. Oh no, not just yet. I do have something that's very difficult to talk about. It's coming up very soon. And one more thing. Sorry, Mark. Talking Joe have done an interview with Brian Flynn from Super 7. Link in the description. Go check that out right this second. Mark, again, so sorry I couldn't meet up with you at Joe Fest, but it looked amazing. So many people were there. It was like, I think the most of our friend group ever were there from multiple countries, and we couldn't make it. It's just anyway, next year. But having said that, great to see Mark have a chat with Brian. And again, like, the interview is on the link in the description. Go check it out. Now, there is another difficult thing I have to talk about on this one, and it is related to this particular image right now. So, of course, as we mentioned on the last episode, we wanted to promote this and we wanted to get this out here. But obviously, a good friend of ours, very close friend, not just friend of the show, but friend in general, Aaron Dietrich, has contracted cancer. And it's not it's difficult to talk about because it's a difficult thing for me. It's not a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing for him, but obviously for me, it's difficult to talk about. And obviously, I want to on here because I want to promote this particular aspect. Now, medical bills are also really friggin' difficult, especially at times like these with, especially with cancer involved. So every little helps in this case. And these particular shirts are available on romacollectibleshop.com. Link in the description direct to this, where you can read a little bit about what the situation is if you're not sure about what's going on, learn a little bit more about the actual situation that Aaron's going through, and help him out by buying a couple of shirts, basically. And if you can, it would be immensely appreciated, not just by Aaron, but by all of the people that love him and are friends with him and so on and so forth. Okay, so if you can, please, if you can, we're going to be going to see him this weekend. So I can't wait to see him, and this is really difficult to talk about. And like I said, I'm going to leave it there because otherwise I'm going to start crying on camera, and no one wants to see that. So anyway, thank you. If you can, please, link in the description. It's hugely appreciated, not just by Aaron, but by everybody who knows and loves him. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Right, that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. It's another great episode, if I don't say so myself. Lots to get through. We did an hour and a half. I'm gonna have to bring it to a close there. Obviously, we've got lots coming next week. The weekends, though, forget it. I ain't doing anything. I can't do anything. I'm going to be otherwise engaged. Unless I do something from the road, it's not happening. So I will see you guys. If anything, I'll still be kind of sharing things on the socials. But if anything happens over the weekend, I'll cover it on Monday. Okay. But that is effectively what the situation is this weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Maybe watch this on repeat if you're feeling a bit bored in the morning on Saturday and you don't have any cartoons to watch. I will return, like I said, probably on Monday. Even if there's nothing to talk about or report about, maybe we'll do. There might be Let's Talk Classified Footloose might be ready. Who knows? Probably not, but maybe. I'll see you probably Monday, but I'll see you in the week. Have a great rest of your weekend. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, 1, 2, 3, full force. Laters, gang. Oh, guess what? I wasn't ready to press the button. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheFullForce. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.